How y'all doing today? It's your boy Jermaine from Hognose Hogs back with another video. And for this video, we're going to be talking about some of the world's first Hognose morph combinations that were produced in 2020. So sit back and relax and enjoy the video. Alright, now let's get down into it with this presentation of the world's first Hognose morph combinations in the year 2020. Before we get started, just want to let y'all know that I got most of these pictures from Facebook after doing like a Facebook search on the groups. So I'm not 100% sure if these are all the world's first that have been produced. I actually doubt that they are. I'm pretty sure there's some big breeders that have some morph combinations under wraps that they haven't revealed to the public yet. And I also included the names of everybody that produced these snakes just to give them credit. I think it's a huge accomplishment to produce a world's first, and hopefully one day I'll be able to do it. So let's get started with the presentation. And so the first hognose we're going to look at is the Hypo Arctic, produced by Jason Taylor. And for this, I'm not 100% sure which type of hypo this is, whether it's a true hypo or a Dutch hypo or an Evans hypo, but he said that he feels that this may be the first of this combination, which is just two genes. You have one recessive gene and one incomplete dominant. So not too crazy of a snake, not too hard to make in terms of a combination. And Jason Taylor is actually the breeder that I bought my Het Lucy from. So he's a very good breeder. He has a lot of good stuff. So definitely look him up if you're interested in some high-end hognose snakes. All right, next up is going to be the Arctic Toxic. And so the Arctic is an incomplete dominant gene, and the Toxic is a combination of the Xanthic and the Toffee belly gene. So this is a 3-gene animal, all visual, and as you can see, man, it looks pretty stunning. I do like the gray color of the Toxic, and then the Arctic just makes that pattern and background stand out even more, especially with the contrast as you add some of the melanin around the borders of the pattern. All right, and so the next one is going to be the Caramel Lavender. So it's a 2 visual recessive gene animal, first produced this year by this guy. His name is Philip. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's from Germany, and from what I've heard, he is he produces the most hognose snakes out of anybody in the world. And so this is a pretty cool looking snake. I love how the caramel gene reduces the head pattern. So it's very cool. And I actually got a few more of his snakes in this slide coming up. And so the next one is going to be something he also produced this year, and this is the Frosted Lavender. So the Frosted gene is a name for the combination of a hypo and a caramel, and then you have the lavender. So this right here is one of the few 3 recessive gene visual hognose snakes. So this looks pretty cool, man. Like I said, you can see the caramel gene reduces that head pattern, and it just has a very unique color. And it actually kind of reminds me of like the color and the pattern of some Eastern hognose snakes. So this is pretty cool. It's not too many 3-gene visual recessive hognose snakes out there. So this next snake was actually produced by him as well this year. And this is a Caramel Ghost. And so the caramel, a recessive gene, and then the ghost is a combination between the Xanthic and Evans hypo. And it also looks like this snake is a supraconda. So this is a 4-gene visual animal. So it has 3 recessive genes, and it has a super form of the incomplete dominant conda. So I don't know if there's any other snake that's been produced so far that has 4 visual genes in it, especially with 3 of those genes being recessive. So this is a very unique snake, one of a kind, I can guarantee you right now. All right, the next snake is going to be the Super Arctic Pink Pastel, produced by Mitch Davey. out of Fathom Hogs. I think that's how you pronounce his company. And he's a pretty good breeder, especially of some high-end snakes. I think he specializes in the sable gene, because I've looked at his Facebook page and he has a lot of cool looking sable hognose snakes, and he actually doesn't live too far from me, and I actually met him at the Daytona Reptile Expo. So this is the world's first Super Arctic Pink Pastel. And so this is actually the same animal after its second shed, and it looks completely different. I'll go back to the previous slide. It was born pink, and then as it started to shed out, you can see more contrast between the background and the pattern. And to be honest with you, it pretty much reminds me of just an Arctic albino. But this is the Super Arctic Pink Pastel. So pretty cool animal, world's first. Next, produced by the same guy, Mitch Davey. This is the Super Arctic Sunburst. And so the Super Arctic is the super form of the incomplete dominant Arctic. And then the Sunburst is a visual combination of the sable and the albino, basically what my hognose Cheeto is. And so I'm not 100% sure if he produced this in 2020 or if this is a world's first, but this was the first. Whenever he posted it, it was the first time of me hearing this combination. I've seen the Arctic Sunburst, but this is my first time seeing a snake labeled Super Arctic Sunburst, which is pretty cool. Next, we're gonna go into the Swiss Chocolate Conda, produced by Jules Toth. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. And so he is the founder of the Swiss Chocolate gene, which is a recessive gene. It's probably one of the rarest morphs out there right now. I'm not 100% sure if he's proven it out to be different between the sable gene, because they're very similar. But this, to my knowledge, is the first time I've seen the Swiss chocolate combined with the Conda gene with the reduced pattern. So I'm not 100% sure if he produced this in 2020 for the first time, but 2020 is the first time he posted these photos. And so this looks pretty cool. Hopefully it's a different gene from the sable. It definitely looks different, especially in this left-hand picture. All right, next up is gonna be the Arctic Frosted Conda. And so I actually talked to the guy that produced it, Eastland, at Exotic Fire Hogs. And so he wasn't 100% sure if this was the world's first. I think other people have produced the Arctic Frosted before, but I think this is the first time it's been combined with the Conda gene. And he produces a lot of good snakes, lives in Florida, and he takes some of the best pictures of hognoses. And so he definitely has a wide variety. And I think I'm gonna have to get involved in the caramel project, because again, I love the reduced head pattern, and I love the contrast between the background and the pattern of this snake. All right, and last is gonna be the True Hypo Super Conda. So it doesn't really look like much. Not too many people have the True Hypo gene. To be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure how to tell the difference between like a True Hypo and an Evans Hypo and a Dutch Hypo. I've heard that the Evans Hypo and the Dutch Hypo are the same thing, but this right here is the first time a True Hypo, which is a recessive gene, has been combined with the Super Conda gene, which totally reduces the pattern other than the head stamp. And that is it, man. Those were the world's first of 2020 that I was able to find on the internet. I'm pretty sure, like I say, that there's more that have been produced. If you know of any that I didn't mention in this video, you can leave them down in the comments. Also, you can like this video and you can subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all for the next one.